Hi, I'm Zak Kozuchowski from GolfWRX.com. I'm here with Todd Beach, and this is what everybody's been waiting for. Todd is the Vice President of R&D for metalwoods for TaylorMade, and every year we wait for the new TaylorMade driver, and here it is. It's called the R1. I'm going to let Todd take it from here. If you would, talk about the technology behind it, and also give us a look at what's going on the top of this driver.
It's really the first time we've offered just one driver, meaning R1,
right.
And the way we're able to do that is we've been working a long time on this adjustable Hosel system. We've actually gotten it all the way up to a plus or minus 2 degree range, and with that we can cover the entire span of lofts that are going to be required on this club.
So let's say somebody wants a 9.5 driver. We're going to be able to go from 7.5 to 11.5?
We go all the way from 8 degrees up to 12 degrees.
8 to 12, okay.
Yeah, so it's plus or minus 2 on that. It
okay.
comes in set at 10. And basically what you do now, and the reason we did this is we found that over 80% of the golfers out there, when they go through our mat fitting system, they actually walk out with a different loft than what they came in with. So they're picking the wrong loft a lot of times when they walk out of the store, and over 50% of those, they're picking too strong of a loft. And that's part of the thing that's happened is we've really made the CGs much more low and forward on these clubs, so they're coming out a lot hotter, and you may need to take more loft than what you typically think. Now,
TaylorMade was the first company to originate what you called FCT, flight control technology, that allowed you to tune the loft. Also ASP, adjustable sole plate technology, which allowed you to adjust the face angle. Explain to me why you've changed names here. It's no longer called that. And what the goal of that was for this new R1 driver.
Yeah, I think if you went and polled 10 golfers out there and said, what does FCT stand for? You'd probably get, 8 out of 10 wouldn't know. And so I think what we want to do is just make it simple for the golfer to know how this thing works. And that's part of the reason we put the actual loft on the sleeve, and we're calling it a loft sleeve now, because that's what it does. It changes the loft. And the adjustable sole plate here now really is your face angle adjuster. So that's really the second step in the whole process, because really when you change the loft, you also, it's coupled to the face angle, so it'll actually change the face angle of the club. So generally as you add loft, it will close the face. As you take loft off, it'll open the face.
Right.
And you may like that or not, but if you don't, you then go to the sole plate and you say, hey, I just added 2 degrees of loft, so now my face angle is 4 degrees closed. If I don't want that, I can now take the sole plate, rotate it to the more open position, and there's 7 different positions now on this, so the most open would bring me right back to a square face angle. So there's a lot more adjustability in this club. We have a 12 position loft sleeve, and now the sole plate has 7 different positions to go with those lofts.
So talk about the paint job on this driver. You've added a racing stripe to it.
The main reason we did it is we really wanted to have respect the original R11 contrast between the white and the black where it really matters, which is up here in this front region here. And there you want the maximum contrast, because if you're off by 2 degrees on your impact condition, that's 20 yards offline for a driver, which is very important. And that's why we started with drivers and fairways and putters with the white on black first, because really those are the clubs where alignment is very important. But then when you get back here and you say, well, what is that doing? We've actually worked hard to design this to not only look fresh and new, but also to have some additional alignment features that is secondary that work with the white on black front. And really the way this the angle there, and it ties off that bug in the front, has an additional cue to your mind as you're setting this thing up of, okay, it's pointing in this direction. So we've actually added some additional features in there to help with that alignment.
Tell me about the center of gravity differences between this driver and the R11S.
Yeah, so this driver, the R11S, was an evolution of the original R11, and we made it bigger, but we weren't able to get the center of gravity as low as what we wanted to. So this one we worked harder to get even more weight out of the crown with our thick, thin crown technology. So it's got pockets on the inside here that go all the way down to 0.4 millimeters thick, and then we're 0.6 on slight rings around there. So effectively it's a very thin crown. And
the cubic centimeters size of this driver head?
This is approaching 460 cc.
Okay, so we're pretty much maxed out with the size.
Pretty much maxed out. But we took all that weight and we moved it down low and forward right in this region here in order to get that projection onto the face at a lower point, which really gives you more speed right there in the middle, because the head, when you hit it in the middle, the head's not rotating.
Right.
But it also gives you more region above the center of gravity to get an even hotter trajectory, where you get this vertical gear effect. If you hit up here, above the CG, the head's going to rotate, which gives you that higher launch, more penetrating flight.